I had the chance to test the official successor of the popular WalkingPad X21 for you, the new WalkingPad X214. My discount code is also active for this model, which you can use if needed. More on that later. The timestamps in the video serve as a table of contents in case you want to skip certain parts. Let's start with the technical data and features. All measurements are given in centimeters, kilograms, and kilometers per hour, with the corresponding values in inches, pounds, and miles per hour listed alongside for easier comparison. When unfolded, the X214 measures about 142 centimeters in length, 71 centimeters in width, and around 102 centimeters in height. The running surface is 121 by 46 centimeters, which is large enough and identical to the X21. With a net weight of 43 kilograms, it is significantly lighter than the larger X218 model, which weighs 61 kilograms. It is suitable for users up to 110 kilograms body weight. The speed can be set between 1 and 14 kilometers per hour. This makes the X214 suitable for both casual walking and more intense running sessions. It is powered by a brushless 932-watt motor that operates particularly quietly. When folded, it shrinks down to a length of only 22.5 centimeters. Perfect for small apartments and saving space in general. But let's start from the beginning. The X214 comes securely packaged and delivered with a 2-man delivery service when you order it from the online shop, at least in my country, Germany. You'll get a phone call to schedule the delivery date, and the delivery team will call you again about an hour before they arrive. This worked perfectly again this time. Inside the box you'll find, besides the treadmill, the power cable, an emergency stop safety clip, a tool that lets you tighten or loosen the running belt if needed, some silicone oil, a detachable smartphone and tablet holder, as well as the user manual. The model comes pre-assembled and is ready to use right away. It's easier to unpack with 2 people, but it can also be done solo with a bit of patience. My first impression was very positive again. It feels premium and looks good. However, just like the predecessor, it only has the small transport wheels. They work fine on flat ground, but are harder to roll on a floor protection mat, which I'll show you later. Now let me show you what you should check before using it for the first time. First of all, the vertical folding system is clearly my favorite of all folding mechanisms in the WalkingPad lineup, since it's by far the quickest to set up and put away. That lowers the mental hurdle in my head to actually use the treadmill. The updated locking system also feels sturdier and safer than on the predecessor. On the X21 it was a bit trickier, but here it works very smoothly. It's important to center the running deck when unfolding so there's no friction on the sides. Then, make sure to remove all protective films before your first use. In the front, there's also a quick start guide hanging with the key points. Even the display and control knob come with extra protection. The side handles didn't exist on the X21 and are a very useful and important add-on. They're locked in place and can be released with the orange button, then they snap into position on their own when unfolded. Here you can also mount the smartphone and tablet holder by pressing it firmly into the pre-mounted screws. It sits very securely, as you can see here with the phone and tablet test. Now let me show you how to use the included oil to lubricate the treadmill. First, cut off the tip of the bottleneck. You can use the side cap to reseal the bottle afterward. Then twist open the bottle. There's still a protective film inside that you need to remove. Since it's very tight, I just cut it open with a utility knife. Seal it again and lift one side of the treadmill belt. If you're 2 people, one can hold it. Otherwise, just brace it with your leg and lift the belt with your free hand. Then spread the oil evenly. Then center the belt again when closing it back down. I used quite a bit here, so one bottle should last for 2 to 3 lubrications. It's important to buy 100% silicone oil if you want to get more later. I lubricate it whenever I haven't used it for a while or if I hear stronger friction noises while walking or running. Just go with your gut here. Now we can connect the walking pad to power. Important, always unfold it before turning it on, otherwise it can cause electrical damage. Same thing the other way around. Unplug it before folding it back up. Without the safety clip, the treadmill won't start, so make sure to attach it in front first. The display is cleanly structured and shows you the key workout data: time, speed, distance, and calories burned. Through the KS Fit app, you can activate a child lock so the treadmill can't be started. You can also mute it if you want, which is a great update. That wasn't possible on the predecessor and was actually one of my criticisms. So, thumbs up! With the no load stop function, you can set it to automatically shut down after a set time if no load is detected. Then you can check whether you're running the latest firmware. And a brand new feature here is the belt calibration. This helps if the running belt is drifting left or right. I tested this right away and also used it to spread the fresh oil. In my case, the belt was perfectly aligned, so I was ready to go. The treadmill can be controlled in 2 ways. First, through the app, which I recommend and use when working at my desk. There's a 3-second countdown and then you can set the speed in 0.1 miles per hour steps. You can also train towards goals where the treadmill stops once you hit them. You can set it by distance, up to the length of a marathon. By time, and by calorie burn, with a little smiley next to it to give you an idea of what the calories look like in food form. If you want to burn more, you can manually set that as a goal. Folding and unfolding on the X series works really well, as you can see here. That makes it ready for a proper test. Here I test all speed levels and measure the noise about 3 feet away. I'm using the WalkingPad floor mat, and as you can see, it doesn't roll easily on it. On screen, I'll show you the speed above and the noise level below. Overall, the running experience was very comfortable thanks to the good cushioning, and I felt safe at all times while using it. The handles are especially helpful at higher speeds if you lose balance a bit. For me, they're not at the perfect height, but they still give me security. Now let me show you what happens when you pull the safety clip. The treadmill stops immediately. You can also pair your Apple Watch with the treadmill via the app and track your heart rate. I also really like the visual breakdown of the different heart rate training zones. To balance out uneven floors, you can unscrew all the adjustable feet. It's important that the running deck is level, so always adjust the feet to the floor before use. Finally, let me show you a typical daily scenario, which is how I use the WalkingPad about 90% of the time. At my desk while working. Here I walked for 2 hours and I always underestimate how many steps add up. This time I also measured the power consumption, which I'll show you in a moment. The treadmill has sensors that track each step and measure stride length. That means if the treadmill is running, but you're not walking on it, no steps are counted. Important to keep results accurate. I'm about 6 feet 1 inch and my desk adjusts up to 50 inches in height. I need that to work ergonomically. So keep that in mind if you plan to get a completely new setup. As I mentioned, I usually start the treadmill here with my phone, so I always have the training stats right in view. You could also just feel for the control knob and use that, but this way you see everything directly. For walking, this is one of the best desk setups you can get. Thanks to the stable base layer and good cushioning, it's very comfortable to walk on even for long periods. To me, it feels a bit like walking on firm forest ground. Here are the results. In 2 hours, I walked almost 10,500 steps at an average speed of about 2 miles per hour and burned 475 calories. When you're focused on work, the time really flies. Here's the result of the power consumption test. In the second hour, I walked a bit faster, which increased the usage, but I honestly expected higher consumption. All in all, for 2 hours, it used under 0.3 kilowatt hours. At an average electricity price of 40 cents per kilowatt hour in Germany, that would be about 12 cents for a session like this. A great result in my opinion. There's a fan inside, which I'll try to show you here. It runs afterward but is really quiet. You can hardly hear it, and not at all while walking. I hope that comes across well in the recording. It's also easy to fold away at the desk and switch right into sitting mode. So it's definitely very practical for everyday use. Now let's get to my conclusion. The WalkingPad X214 is the better X21 and my new go-to treadmill for desk use. Walking and running on it is genuinely fun. The new features like mute mode, Apple Watch, heart rate tracking, and the handles are all valuable improvements. As mentioned, it's my favorite folding mechanism of all walking pads. Add some larger transport wheels and you've got the perfect treadmill. Other than that, I don't really have improvement suggestions. So, for anyone looking for a space-saving but powerful treadmill that works for both walking and running workouts, this one should be a great fit. If you are interested in the model, there are coupon codes for the US and the UK in the video description. When you follow the links, the discount code usually activates automatically once you add it to the cart. If you have questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. Thanks for watching and see you in the next review. All the best!